excited today. Do you know why? Today it's a wonderful day. Yes, it is. Because it is Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. I am excited wherever you're watching, all over the world. I need you to pay attention with me. Because what is about to take place today, it's definitely going to bring tears to some people's eyes. But at the end of the day, victory awaits you. And let me tell you this. One night, I was woken up from the sleep. And a young lady was on the phone. And what did she say? Mama, they just raped me on my way from work. You can't even imagine how I felt as a person, as a mother, and as a woman. Someone has just been violated. But then I picked up the courage and I said to her, I said, young lady, they only touched your body. They didn't touch your soul. Whatever it is that might have happened does not determine your destiny in life. I am happy to tell you today that this young lady is not married, but children doing very well professionally. Today on Mama Helen and you, we are going to be looking on a very important topic. I think I've given you a steer already. And it is simply the effects of sexual assault and rape in our society today. Back in a moment, it is still Mama Helen and you.
Mama Helen TV show, Mama Helen ó ti dé. Mami ti wá dé, Mama Helen ó tún ti dé. Oríṣiríṣi ara.
So today is going to be wonderful if you're journeying wherever you are all around the world. Yes, it is still Mama Helen and you. And of course, rape and sexual assault in our society today are severe human rights violations. Yet they remain widespread around the globe. Although men and boys experience gender-based assault as well, but women around the world are disproportionately affected by sexual assault. Both during peace and wartime, rape and sexual assault are extremely traumatizing with lifelong repercussions for the victim's health and well-being. And that's the reason why we would like to, do this program today, so that those who are hurted, those who are pained by this experience would have respite and they will be able to move on with their lives. They will do something wonderful with themselves. With me today, to do justice to this, are beautiful two ladies. I am already excited just seeing them. The very first person sitting next to me is no other person than Mrs. Rachel Rupi. She is the Executive Director, Development Initiative for Community Impact. It's such a pleasure having you.
The pleasure is mine.
Rachel, it's such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, ma.
We thank God. And of course, sitting next to her is no other person than Dr. Otega Okinono. Did I get the name right?
You got it right.
Awesome. She's a lecturer, Sociology Department, Delta State University, Abraka. It's really a pleasure having both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm really excited because you see, you're ladies. And so you can understand, you can relate with the subject or the topic of today's deliberation. So, but the first thing that I would like to ask you is that for you to help me differentiate, because most times when people are talking about rape, sexual assault, sex abuse, or what have you, there seems to be a little bit of conflict in that. Bearing in mind that today's topic resonates on sexual assault and rape, can you please help me differentiate between sexual assault, rape, and sex abuse.
Okay. So let me go.
Yes.
Beautiful. Excuse me. Rape and sexual assault, there's a thin line.
Yes.
Okay? And there's an umbrella word that covers these two words, and that is sexual violence. Okay? Talking about sexual violence, it's also hidden under another umbrella word, which is gender-based violence.
Cool.
Okay? Talking about gender-based violence, it is this violence that is perpetrated against anybody by virtue of that person's gender. So, why the emphasis is more on women? When we talk about gender-based violence, everybody minds will run to the ladies, run to the girl, run to the woman, is because the number of reported cases and the number of persons that have been abused, that have been defiled, that violence have been perpetrated against are more women. So when we bring down gender-based violence, we have different types of violence. We have the physical violence, we have the sexual violence, we have the economic violence, we have psychological violence and emotional violence. Okay. Now, taking it down further, we'll pick the sexual violence, which is what we are actually going to talk about deeply today.
Okay.
Then the sexual violence, that is where we have sexual assault.
Okay.
Then rape is inside.
Yes.
Then sexual assault is any sexual act, any form that is perpetrated against anybody.
Yes.
Despite the relationship you have with that person, that is sexual assault. Then rape is the intentional penetration of someone through the anus, the mouth, or the vagina with any part of the other person's body or an object without the person's consent. So consent is critical in this issue, without the person's consent. And all the international instruments that respond to gender-based violence, sexual violence, and sexual abuse have been able to pick the issue of consent strongly. And because that act happened without that person's consent, then it becomes rape or it becomes sexual assault.
Awesome. She's done a lot to this, but I know you would have something to it as well, Doctor. What do you have to say?
Thank you very much, ma'am.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. I want to add to what my colleague has said. And there's a thin line between sexual assault and sexual violence. Assault is basically touching somebody without his or her consent. You touch any part of the body, just holding somebody's hands, touching the cheek, giving the person a peck, that is sexual assault. But when we talk about rape, rape has to do with penetration. So there is no way you could rape somebody without assaulting the person. Because definitely you must touch the person. You must touch. That is why the severity of punishment differs. For sexual assault and rape differs. But sexual assault, the cardinal point there must be penetration to prove that it is rape. Whereas assault is touching the physical body. There is no penetration whatsoever. I think that is the thin line.
Yeah, you're both saying the same thing, and then of course it gives us deeper meaning to what we're saying. What about our statutory rape, which is also could be related to sex abuse?
Good. Now there are basically two types of rape. We have the statutory rape and the classical rape. The statutory rape has to do with involving someone below the age consent, engaging in sexual relationship with somebody below age consent. And this age consent is being defined by the law, and it varies from one country to another. Like the one in the United States is definitely going to be different from the one in Nigeria. Okay? Then the classical rape is having sexual intercourse, engaging with somebody who is above the legal age. Good. Legal age.
That's right.
Somebody above the legal age. And it is either the
minor.
Yeah. Above the legal age. It doesn't, it's not a minor this time around. It's somebody above the legal age, like an adult, 18, 20, 30, and so what have you. However, it's done by either threat or by force. forceful intercourse with somebody, penetration with somebody above the legal age without the person's consent. So consent is a key factor when it comes to rape and assault.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. In section 357 of the rape as having unlawful carnal knowledge of a woman or girl without her consent or with her consent if the consent is obtained by force or by means of threats or intimidation or any kind of fear. Now, when you look at that, what would you say? Because we want to look at this subject critically. I know it has been something that's been going on. We have about a year or two ago about the Me Too movement, okay? And that shook the foundation and all around the world. It sort of put a beam or a light to the subject matter, which is rape or sexual assault, as the case may be. Now, in your own perspective, would you think that our country, Nigeria, for example, I want to start, Charity says, they say begins from home. Would you want to say like the law enacted by our legislature and then of course the judiciary, come the government, have been able to tame this madness in our society?
Okay. There are a lot of laws, international, national, local, or regional, local, that has been enacted. And at the United Nations Security Council resolution 1325 that came up in December 2000, one of the critical issues that resolution and other related resolution, which is otherwise known as Women, Peace and Security Agenda, is on getting women secured both in conflict, armed conflict zone and even outside the armed conflict, both in the workplace and at home. Getting also women involved after they have then taking it further, there's the African People's Charter on women security and what have you. Then we have, like, let's take it home. Mama said let's take it home. Then we have the Gender and Equal Opportunity Law. We have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. Okay. We have also the Gender Act, and we have so many instruments and civil society organizations. There are so many challenges in getting these laws.
Yes.
Because at the international, Nigeria will sign treaties to this law. And once it comes, it is now left for the national government and federal government to now get committees into place to ensure that we have a national action plan on how to implement these international laws that protect women and girls. Then, because we operate the federal system of government, then it's also mandatory for all the states to their houses of assembly to pick the same and also domesticate it before it becomes implementable.
Okay.
Now, all these laws, it has led us now, at least working so far, we now have gender desk in police stations.
Okay.
Then there's one thing we always say: political will. Political will. The laws are there; they are lying there. We do not have shortages of laws to implement perpetrators and protect victims. Like I believe and I strongly advocate for prevention. Don't let it happen. How do we prevent it? But a lot of factors, a lot of drivers and escalators are making it difficult. Because it is a patriarchal society. Who are these people that are the hems of affairs to implement this law? They are the men there. Okay? So these various laws have been able to put on the ground frameworks that worked.
As it, all the laws, have they been able to protect the victims?
Okay. There is an issue.
Okay.
People don't even know what rape is. Then our society, our culture, because of our gender background, the gender stereotype, it's difficult for a woman to say, I am raped. A woman go to the police station to report I am raped. They'll begin to ask her, how did they rape you? Explain it, describe. So you are even making it difficult for the woman to say. 2, litigation, that is talking about criminal.
So evidently it hasn't worked.
It is working, but it has not worked the way it ought to work.
Beautiful. All right, doctor. What do you have to say concerning
Wow. Now, if
You
I
said a lot.
understand you very well,
Yes.
you're talking about implementation of these laws, the
Yes.
impact
Yes.
of this law.
Of this law, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
On the victims especially.
Especially, exactly.
Good. To a very large extent, I don't think the impact is felt that much because of constraint, our values, value system. That in some situations, you see the rape victim, even parents, mothers shutting down their girls. Why did you do that? The way you dressed. Oh, why did you go to his house? They wouldn't want to listen to that child. And at the end of the day, the child feel insecure. Who do I confide in? Who is going to protect me?
That's right.
If my parents can't protect me, my friends laughing at me, society stigmatizes me, where do I go? They bottle it up.
That's right.
And that's where you see the effect coming out, and it's evident in society.
That's
so even if there are laws that are there, the implementation is faulty, hasn't been there. And I also want to stress on what she said. Recently, I've been following up cases of rape on media, precisely television, and it will amaze you to see things going on. You begin to ask yourself, why? Why are these things going on? What is happening? You understand? The laws are there, but are they implemented?
The laws are not implemented.
And the awareness is not there.
Good.
The
Awesome.
awareness is not there.
Okay, because of that, we can just go on in this. But I want us to look at another word that really stands out to me.
Okay.
And that's the word consent. Okay?
Yeah.
Consent. What does consent mean in sexual activity? Yes.
Okay. A consent is willing agreement.
It's a willing, yes.
It's a willing agreement.
Yes.
That I allow you to touch me.
That's right.
I am allowing you to have a carnal knowledge of me.
Yes.
That is consent. So, you cannot get consent from underage. That's where statutory rape comes in. You can only get consent from someone that is 18 years and above. But consent is not permanent. I can decide to say yes now. In the next minute, I will say no. So it is for you to stop.
All right. Stop there. Because, she's not going to go. She's taking me to a point and I'm going to get into the little. It's really getting excited. Young lady, you're not alone. We are advocating here for you today. You are going to have your freedom and liberty. I can tell you that. Yeah. That situation is not going to damage you. You are getting held with your head up and walking very tall by the grace of God. So, doctor, what would you have to say concerning that? The word consent.
Good.
How do you define that?
Good. The word consent is agreeing or accepting something. It could be a demand, it could be financial, it could be physical,
in a context
in the context today. Yes. Accepting somebody's request.
Yes.
Accepting
Sexually.
Then, like what she said, you accept 1 minute.
Okay.
The next minute you say,
you can
I don't
know.
And the other party, the guy is on. So how is he going to
stop?
Does
my dressing give you consent to violate me?
No.
Tell me why.
No means no in consent. Remember, you were talking about the hashtag Me Too movement.
The Me Too movement.
It went on to become hashtag Hear Me Too in 2018. And it went on, that's Orange the World, talking about 16 days of activity and the UN women and all this stuff. My dressing does not give you right to have sexual knowledge, intimacy with me.
Yes.
Okay? That I am dressed the way I'm dressed is me dressing the way I'm dressed. So you need self-control. You need self-control. Like people have, I do not believe dressing is a major cause of rape. Yes. Before somebody raped anybody, that person has planned it in the mind, has orchestrated it, and has even followed the victim for a long time, planning out what to do and how to go about it. That is why, like when you're looking about classical rape, we have different types of rape. We have spousal rape, we have gang rape, and we have date rape. You can go on a date with a guy, and at the end,
I was just going to say
and he will end up raping you.
Dates, for example, and someone getting drugged
and being raped. So Consent,
maybe they spiked your drink.
Yes, which is what they do often now. That's what they do
And
often.
then before you know it, you're in the bedroom.
Yes. And
another thing
there's the one they do, you won't even remember what happened. There's a case we handled, the girl got pregnant and she said nobody slept with her. And it was her friend that took her on that date, and her drug was spiked, and they slept with her. She said she's still a virgin, that nobody has ever slept with her. She can't remember. It was, and she at the time the mother was even thinking maybe it was the father she was trying to protect. But this child, she gave back to this child for about, the child was about 3-4 years before the friend confessed. That that visit we visited somewhere, that your drink was spiked. It was so that impregnated you. Okay. And when they look the child and the father, the carbon split. It is a split. My dressing is not it, because people will say that's what we say. Stop the blame game. Hashtag stop the blame game. Don't blame the victim. Okay, if for example I have been raped, I am going through psychological trauma, I am going through emotional distress, I'm going through a whole lot. I'm thinking, oh, the world is falling on me. Oh,
then you're telling me
you're not telling me that I am the one.
Okay, so doctor, I decide to, I mean, it's my world. So I'm putting on spaghetti, okay? And I'm stepping out with my sneakers and bouncing. Does that give a man a right to violate?
Absolutely not.
Please tell us why.
It doesn't give the man the right to rape a lady, irrespective of a dress code.
Yes.
That is why we are advocating for how to tame people. Taming your urge, your sexual urge, your emotions towards the opposite sex. It doesn't give the right, because most times they blame the victims. People are beginning to say, because of our culture, they say you are not properly dressed. Why did you have to put it this way? Why is your boobs popping out? You entice the guy. Men are easily moved by sight.
Because then we can as well say that possibly maybe a 5-year-old.
That I'm even coming to that.
Okay.
A baby
getting raped
recently.
Okay. She must have dangled what? Something that
nothing
doesn't
is there to dangle. Recently, I watched it on channels.
Yes.
There were, some teenagers.
Yes.
You understand?
So can you see what we're talking about here, young lady? It's not your fault, baby. You didn't ask for it. I think that's what we're talking about here. Exactly. You didn't ask for it.
Exactly.
You didn't ask for it. Okay. So she said, I didn't ask for it, but it happened to me. What are the effects?
Oh, the effects are enormous. We'll categorize it in two, we'll give it two headings. The effect on the individual one and the effect on the community too.
Yes.
They are on the individual, psychological,
trauma,
stigma, shame. You see the child withdrawn. Mama, let me shock you.
Before you shock me, we're gonna do a little bit of ride in a little while.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you, young lady, like I said to you, you're not alone. And you're not the only one who has been violated. There have been so many of them, and many of them have come up really strong. Like Oprah Winfrey. Many of them. On Mama Helen and You today, we're actually dealing on how to make that woman stand out tall, regardless of that sexual abuse you might have been through. And in a moment, we're going to be back. And it's just going to get better and better and better, because we're going to be looking into the effects, what the things that the victims go through on a daily basis before we finally get into how to get out of it. Because you're going to get out of it. Again, it's your body that is touched, not your soul, not your person. Back in a moment, Mama Helen and You.
Mama Helen TV show, Mama Helen otide, Mami Tiwade, Mama Helen otutide, oríṣiríṣi ara.
Hallelujah. I want to use this privilege to thank our mama. Mama, thank you so much for this great privilege. Mama Helen, I'm so honored. In fact, I am blessed. This means a lot to me. Mama, in my dialect, I say, Migo, ma. Thank you so much, ma. bless the name of the Lord. The song that says, come and make my heart a home for you. Come and make my heart your dwelling place, Holy Spirit. I want to make my heart your home. Come and make my heart your home. Come and be everything I aim and Lord, I know. Search me through and through, till my heart becomes a home for you.
Becomes a home for you. Come on, baby, give me sound till my heart becomes a home for you. I am extremely touched by that song. Young lady, you blew us off our socks. Thank you so very, very, very much indeed. I am extremely excited. Wherever you're watching, it is Team Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria. Yes, make your heart ready for the Lord, because it's the healing balm. He's the one that restores. He's the one that makes us all whole. Well, we've been actually on, deliberating on the effects of sexual assault and rape in our society today. And we've been looking into, we looked at the differences in terms of sexual assault and rape and possibly sex abuse and what have you. And our guests have been incredibly wonderful. Just in case if you're joining us, I mean, this is the time for you to tag somebody. This is the time for you to actually press your share button and let someone know that Mama Helen and you is actually on set. And we're actually dealing on this topic because we know that it cuts across millions of people are affected around the world by the topic of today. Now, before we went on break, we were actually looking at the effects. The effects, what, the victims, what they go through. I mean, what do you have to say concerning that, doctor? Let me start with you.
The effects of rape, they are so enormous, and the traumatizing experiences by the victims. Now, we have numerous effects. Number one, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, rebellion, homicidal ideation, suicide ideation, resentment towards the other person, withdrawal, bitterness, anger. There are so many psychological effects are there. Okay, so it reduces the victim to a nobody. There was a particular case we handled in the group chat, women helping women. A particular case we looked at. 12 midnight, we were all called upon to talk to this lady. She has 4 kids.
Anxiety, depression, low self-esteem,
rebellion,
anger,
bitterness, resentment,
rebellion. The lists are endless. That's what you have just told us.
Exactly.
For example, let us pick on the word, rebellion. What takes place here when a victim feels, hey, I can't take this. A man did this to me, so I'm going to deal with every man that comes my way.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to say before we went to a break. I'm going to deal with every man that comes along my way.
Yes.
That is also categorized into different sections. This is making some young girls not wanting to get married. It's making some young girls, because we counsel and spoke to some. They are doing well, went to school, good job, everything going well. Get married, they say no.
No.
But when they come around you, they say they want to get married. No, but if you counsel them because of the psychological trauma. Say, who is man? After what men did to me, after what a man did to me, it become even worse when it was the father that actually raped her and abused her all the years. Okay, so now talking about the impact on the ladies, more so that there's that low self-esteem. You see them outward, it's not showing, but when you have one-on-one interaction, you begin to say, am I worth anything? Am I what? You begin to say no, but you have everything. Say no. They won't speak out because of the shame and stigma that is tied to it. If I speak out, what will happen to me? They will look at me as if I'm someone from another.
So she goes after, so a man, for a man to even dare to come around her, that man is in trouble.
Exactly. Even it has to, for those who even get married.
Yes.
And they say, okay, let me just get married because I want to answer the missus or whatever.
Yes.
They have this resentment towards their husbands. And even some of them towards their male children. Anybody man, they become resentful, they become rebellious. Okay. They look at the person as a mean person.
I also want to flip the coin in another, leading you on to another aspect that I want you to look at in terms of rebellion. Okay. There have been some ladies, they might now decide to start sleeping around, for example, because they feel that they're using that to deal with the men in the, that comes their way based on what they've been through. So they just open the window and start, does that solve the problem? By sleeping around, trying to get at this man, isn't that self-destructive?
Exactly. It is self-destructive because you think you are trying to get at the men. You are destroying yourself. You are sleeping around. That's not the solution. The problem is still not solved. It's like someone going to, in quotes, taking alcohol to forget his problem. You cannot solve the problem of what has happened by sleeping around. We have cases of some trying to go around to infect other men with whatever infection they got through that encounter. So that's not the solution. The solution is you have to talk to God.
Okay, before we get into the solution, she is very much in a hurry. Very much in a hurry. We know that most cases aren't even strangers. So, can you talk to us about that?
Good. Most cases are not really strangers. Yes. Except few cases that they just bump into the lady. Most cases are people who are known to the victims. Yes. It could be fathers, relatives, uncles, guardian, a friend. There are people who are known to them. Yes. And such a person, maybe through admiration, I want to have this girl.
Even a driver
could do that.
At home.
The gate
Oh,
man.
Rishi.
Yes, the gate man.
Yes,
You know.
the gates man.
Yeah, you admire this person.
Yes.
And you don't have access to this lady because the gap, the social gap or status or whatever. And you want to exercise your right. That is why in most cases, the perpetrators, they subdue the victims.
Yes.
They use force.
Violence means
Yes,
also.
whichever. Now, that is how it starts. It is somebody known to the victim. They are not strangers.
A
It can be
13-year-old
close.
case.
It can be from afar.
To buttress and emphasize on what you're just saying now.
Okay.
A 13-year-old child was raped. And what was it? She was busy cooking in the kitchen.
Okay.
And the cousin was around. So this is how close it can be sometimes. The cousin was around, another female, a male rather. And then the next thing is, oh, help me pick something in the pantry, the store, you call it in Nigeria. So she went in with the hope of taking something out, and before she knew it, this cousin pounced on her, tore her clothes, raped her, and she couldn't even tell anybody about it. Now, what do you have to say about that? The shame, the embarrassment, the pain that goes, that some of this lady actually experience, because especially in Africa. Yes, in the developed countries of the world, some ladies are bold enough, but how many of us know? But for the Me Too, that seems to be being able to give some women, courage. Yes, to be able to come out and say, yes, it happened to me too. There are quite a lot of women out there who are suffering from this. Okay, they live through this experience. So can you get us into this? Okay, the shame, the pain, the ridicule, the inability to even confide with anyone because you don't want to be like, to be what?
To be tagged a society anomaly. Okay? Because society
Stigmatized.
Stigmatized and shame.
Oh,
and
is anybody going to marry me again? Can I still be marriageable? Yeah, I'm just happy now.
Okay. Okay. So the stigma, that's why we always emphasize stigma management. Because why so many persons are not speaking out, are not reporting, or why some will even report and withdraw, are because of the stigma that is related with it. Like when I do trainings most times,
especially in Africa.
Yes, when I do training most times, I will ask the men a simple question.
Yes.
If a girl is raped in your village, in your community here, and you know that this girl is raped, and your son comes and say he wants to marry this girl, will you agree, sir? They will say, no, I will not, never. I say, okay, supposing me that is training you now, I came from Lagos, you don't know anything, you don't know my history, and maybe I have been serially raped, and your son says he wants to marry me, you look at me and say, consultant, will you agree for yourself? I say, yes now. I say, so? They said, okay, we have something, we need to do something.
Something about it.
So, first of all, is to encourage wanting the hush from the family members. Most times the parents know, the mothers.
So
they hush. They go through isolation in the sense that most times, especially the younger ones, they have confided in their mothers. The mothers, shh, don't say your father raped you, don't say your brother raped you, right. Don't say your uncle raped you.
Doctor, they're traumatized. Tell us about it.
Good. When we talk about rape and the victims, is an experience that is really traumatizing. I wish there's another word we could use for traumatizing or traumatization. We need to look at that very well. Apart from this stigmatization, they don't feel protected. They are scared. Even the perpetrator might threaten, depending on whatever, weapon he's going to use.
What about the blame game?
The blame
it's
game
my
also.
fault. Maybe if I hadn't come out that day, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Blame game by the victim.
There's a lady watching right now. She says, maybe if I haven't taken the route, that route that I went home through, maybe this wouldn't have happened to me.
No, naturally, someone could say,
I'm talking about trauma now.
Yes, trauma. You keep blaming yourself, you keep hating yourself when you don't get support. When you have people, when you speak out, when you are given the opportunity to speak, the platform to speak, the courage to speak, and you tell it to a friend, the friend say,
Can you help me tell that lady out there that it's not her fault?
It's
you didn't
not her
ask
fault.
for it.
Yeah, she
You didn't ask for it, baby.
Yeah.
I think that's just what we're trying to say here. Stop blaming yourself. You did not ask for it. Please, you didn't ask for it. And this is the time that I expect you, wherever you are around the world, you have a voice right now. You can actually talk to us. We want to hear from you. We have our phone lines open. You know, just call us. Let us know how you feel about this. You know, the some of the cases that you're familiar with, or maybe you're even a victim yourself, and you want to help somebody out, or you've been able to overcome this. This is the time for you. You have our lines open. Please give us a call. Give us a call. Give us a call. Give us a call. Let's hear from you. Go ahead. You're traumatized. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle this. And you're just wondering, how can I deal with this? You know, because then you're thinking, maybe if I hadn't, like the young lady of 13, maybe if she hadn't entered the palm tree, maybe if she didn't decide to cook that day. You know, the maybe. There are so many of them watching us as we talk right now. What do you have to say concerning that?
The blame game on yourself is, we need to educate people to tell them you don't have to blame yourself.
Good.
Going to the pantry to get something, passing through a route, it is not your fault at all. It could be coincidence. You don't have to blame yourself. And for us to stop this blame game, we need support from all sectors of society, the family, religious bodies, civil society, NGOs, friends, peer groups, the school, everywhere. When somebody, blame game will always come in when you begin to see that's the effect of that low self-esteem, the stigmatization.
Yes.
If I hadn't go through this path, if I hadn't listened to this guy, you don't, because the blame game is not going to
Maybe
solve
I shouldn't
the
have
problem.
gone on that date.
Yes.
What about those who were gang raped, for example? Not even just an individual,
Okay.
just some men.
Yeah.
And they're wondering, oh dear, is this a time to really take a pause? Whilst you're thinking about calling us, because I want to, you know, this is it. This is Africa. A lot of people practically struggle, you know, when it has to do with, you know, with an issue such as this. But we've got your back. That's what you see. These are ladies. We've got your back here today. And we want to deal with some of these things because at the end of the day, hey, you're coming out of this strong no matter what. So in a little while, we're going to be coming back with a solution. What do you do? Oh, there's a caller. Okay, there's a caller out there. All right, yeah, you can go ahead and talk to us. Go ahead and talk to us, baby.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead. And the rule of the game is to kindly bring down your TV set sound so that it does not interrupt you in any way. It's very important. And then, of course, let us know who you are so that we can go on talking. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. My name is Rebroadcast, and I have a question to you.
Okay.
All right, so everything we've been talking about the rape issue, and you know, men get raped too, and also men get accused of rape falsely. So the question actually is, if as a man I'm accused of raping someone falsely, how do I solve the problem? Because it's more dangerous than it seems.
Okay.
People,
if you're accused falsely,
of this.
that's a good one. That's a very good one. Okay, so he's a man and he's saying how there, you know, I mean, you know, when issues like this has been, when we have issues, burning issues like this, a burning issue like this, someone feels tingling, and then of course the male folk will feel, well, have our back too. You know, someone accused me wrongly. What do you have to say?
Okay, if you are accused wrongly, one thing we always emphasize is people to understand what rape is. Because most time you say, I was falsely accused. And because rape is intentionally penetrating either the mouth, the vagina, or the anus of another person.
May I help you a
So,
little
without the
bit?
consent.
May I help you a little bit? You see, ladies, let me tell you, men, ladies love to be romanced, you know, caressed, and all sorts of things. Now, for a man, you are leading me on. But for her, just have a feel of me, but don't go deeper. So, from where do we, in answering this question, where do you draw the line?
You draw the line like you draw the line when the lady says stop. You stop instantly. If you say, but you have given me green light that I'm all on. You are all on to where now?
Okay, calm down.
Calm down, calm down. I said no. You have to stop there. But if you continue to say, I beg, Joe, like in our pidgin English, not you don't agree since. No. You are committing a sexual assault at that moment.
Yes.
So for the liberty that called,
Yeah.
please, if you are falsely accused and you know that you are falsely accused, first thing to do is go to the police station. Go and make a complaint that you have been falsely accused. The police, they have been trained on what to do, on how to gather evidence.
Okay.
Then one thing also is, because they will go and check the seminal fluid, check everything, bruises. There are forensic investigation at the health facility, be it primary, secondary, or tertiary, on how to gather evidence. So if you say you have been falsely accused and you know you didn't touch her, you didn't assault her, then go to the police, make your complaint, and the investigation will go on. But if you know that you touched, but you didn't penetrate, my dear, just go and apologize to her. Heal yourself. Go and learn about what rape is all about.
With what she had just said now, because then that takes me to the sexual assault, which is groping, touching, kissing, touching some very sensitive areas with that person's consent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in Africa, a young lady just, could just make a pass here now, and the man would just, bam!
Fine
girl. Sometimes bomb. It goes that far.
Yeah.
Some, what do you have to say concerning
that? People don't really
Hey, you have a voice, you can give us a call. We want to hear from you.
People don't really have this understanding of what sexual assault.
I'm looking for that girl that is going to be bold enough to call me. That young lady. Call me, give me a call. Yes.
They don't really understand what rape and sexual assault mean.
Yes.
A lot of them, even the sexual, people have been, sexually assaulted every day on daily basis without their knowing. Somebody just grabs your hand. Hello, fine girl.
You have the right to.
How? Hello, fine girl. How are you? The girl doesn't see it as assault.
Yes.
She sees it as, don't touch me again. What's the meaning of that? And it ends there. So my will say, I better stop it, like the Nigerian normal way.
Yeah.
You are a fine girl now. You understand?
And before you know it, the hand is graduating.
Going up. And before you know it, it extends.
Yeah.
And sometimes, maybe the guy might just, you not saying no, might give the guy the impression that you are giving him the go ahead.
Okay.
And he could move further. You understand? Okay. And by the time you say no, they say, well, you are saying yes, your body is saying, you are saying no, your body is saying yes. And the guy goes further. And you say, no, this is not what I mean. And before you say Jack, he has gone in there. So like I said, the awareness, we should try to create more awareness. Public awareness. Let people know that a guy touching you without your consent indiscriminately is wrong.
It is wrong.
It's an abuse.
It's a no-no.
Yes, it's an abuse.
No-no.
No matter how beautiful, if he wants to admire you, he could do that.
Yes.
You're beautiful. It ends there.
And don't overdo it.
Yes, you're fine. You appreciate people. It's okay. But not going further, touching them without their consent. Somebody might just say, is it not just your hand I touched? That is an abuse. So people should know.
Some ladies or men at the place of work, go through something of this nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe because you need to keep your job, especially if you're a banker, for example, you have to go around, and even right in the office as well, you have cases of, bosses, using it as a contingent, for you keeping your job or promotion or anything. So what do you have to say about that?
That is sexual abuse. That is sexual abuse because you are abusing your office. And sexual abuse has to do with power relation. You know this person is a junior staff, let's put it that way, and you are upper there. You are the boss is there. So you are using your office to intimidate, to coerce, and to force her to do what ordinarily she will not want to do because she knows if she loses her job, it's going to affect her family. So that we call that sexual exploitation and abuse. Yeah. See, sexual exploitation and abuse. So if you are a boss there, don't use your office to intimidate the male. But funny enough, it's not even just the male bosses, even the female bosses.
Also,
so when we are talking about rape, we are not looking at just
don't go out with me, you're in trouble.
Yes, we are not. Why the program today is just that we are focusing on the ladies.
Yes.
If not, rape is about both men because a whole lot of young men were raped by their aunts growing up. They were raped by their. Most people will say, you people are not asking us. So is it because we are not talking? That's why I started with saying it is what the way society ascribed rules. They made the man feel, keep quiet, don't say anything. You are the man. You are the man. You are the man. So they grow up with you are the man. Do anything they want to do. You are the man.
For a man, for example, who is a victim, that could lead into homosexuality and what have you. What do you have to say concerning that?
Good. When we talk about rape, rape has to do with a kind of exercising force. It could be physical force. It could be like the boss subordinate relationship, trying to coerce somebody into something. If you look at rape, the way it is being defined, okay, forcefully, either by threats or what have you, intimidation, penetration has to be there. We are talking about rape this time around.
Yes.
And
so for a man, for example,
a man can be raped.
Must you become an homosexual? Because
no, that is not a justification.
That is not a justification for that. Anyway, it is still Mama Helen and you all the way from Warri, Nigeria today. I am excited. Do you know where my excitement is? It's because I know that a young lady is going to have her head up high today flying. Why? Because she's been able to get herself back. And that's where we're going to be looking on at the next segment to see how you can get yourself back. Oh dear.
Hello?
They don't want us to go on break. So go ahead, talk to us. We're here. Yes, darling, talk to us. May we please know you?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear
Hello?
you. Go ahead, speak with us.
Okay, please, I'd like to remain anonymous.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, I have an experience to share.
Okay, baby. Go
I
ahead.
went on a business trip with my boss some times back, and I wasn't the only one on the trip with him. But owing to the fact that I was his personal assistant and I had some things I had to do for him, I had to go into his hotel room, and he took advantage of me in the process. And there was no way for me to report because we were stuck in the same position. We were stuck in the same environment for over 3 days, which meant that at the end of the day, even trying to report the case, I would have no evidence. What can be done in this kind of situation?
What can be done?
Okay.
What can be done? Young lady, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're going to come out of this, and you're going to come out of this very strong. Counselors, what have you to say concerning this? Let's start with her, and then...
What can be done is, actually you have 72 hours to get to the health center or any health facility to get post-exposure prophylaxis, to get hepatitis prevention, to get unplanned pregnancy prevention, and to get the health, whoever is in charge of that health facility, to be able to collect the forensic evidence that you can use to go to the police station. Even if it's 3 days, which is 72 hours, still you should have gone to the police station. You should have gone to the health center to see if there's any evidence still left.
Right, now, it's now more than 3 days from all what we're saying. That it's an experience that happened before. What can she do?
So,
Okay, having said that...
Yeah, hello, how are you?
Just a moment. Let's finish with the anonymous caller. Yes?
Okay, now, since the 72 days has elapsed, the next thing she should do is to... Definitely, she has to go to the police station first.
Okay. it's gone past
that.
It's gone past
now
that.
She has to since
She
she has
needs
gone
to-
past she
yes.
needs help at
Yes.
this point in time. The first thing she has to do, because we have been talking about stigmatization, society rejecting her, she has to start from the home, somebody close to her. She has to confide in somebody that will give her the go ahead.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
behind you.
That's
I will
beautiful.
go with you.
Yes.
Even if you don't have the proof,
Yeah.
you must speak out.
You
Even
have
if
to.
you don't have the evidence, you must speak out, and you must go to the process of healing, and you must tell it to people so that other people will not be victims of what you have gone through.
Exactly. Now, this is your boss. I don't know, just like what you have heard us said, and the two of them actually. Yes, make sure to open up. Open up with someone that you know can speak into your life. It's extremely important. And then, of course, the number 2 aspect that is extremely for you is for you to go through therapy. You need to go through therapy. In Nigeria, when we talk about therapy, they think that, oh, okay, you have to be, I don't know, ill, you have to be going through one thing or the other.
Hello? Yeah, hello?
Okay, hello, I think another caller is coming.
Hello.
Can you just give
Hello.
us 1 second? I know quite a number of you would like to talk to us. Just hold on, let's address this young lady's plight so that we can all learn from it. So, having said that, don't say that, okay, it's not a one-day journey, baby. It's not a one-day journey. That's why it has to be therapeutic. You have to go through the process. I know we're not handling the aspect of the solution bit of it, but that is essential. Then the other aspect that I think that a lot of people really fight with is confrontation. Being confrontation. What do I mean by that? Okay, if it is possible for you to report this at the office to a superior, then do it. Do it. Be confrontational about the issue. Report the boss. Let the superior know that you were violated, at a certain date or what have you. Because at the end of the day, it is extremely important when you look straight into the eye of your abuser and say, no, you didn't get my soul. You didn't get me. You didn't get me. You didn't get me. You might have touched my body, but you didn't get me. It is extremely important because that gives you power. That person, by subduing you and getting you to do what you wouldn't have wanted to do, exercise some level of power over you. So you need to take the power back from the person. It's extremely important. But above all, Jesus is the key. And I know he will heal your heart. In Jesus' name. So pick yourself up, baby. All right? It's never over until it is over. And that's when we go in to meet with our maker. So stay strong. It can only get better. I know quite a lot of calls trying to get in. And that's fine. It's almost as though we can't go on break right now. I don't know what the producers are saying. But I think if you still want to call in, go ahead and call. And this will not lead us to the solution bit, because I think that's what we really, really need to look at. I want our counselors today to be able to look at, okay, fine, this has happened. Okay, we have to look at it in both ways. The prevention, the preventive method, that's one hand, and someone who is a victim. How do you cope with this? What do you do?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Like
They're ready. They're ready.
Also talking to our last caller.
Yeah.
3 days. Immediately the thing happened on the first day.
And this is generally addressing
now. We are
everybody.
looking at that first day. It happened.
Yes.
It has happened.
Yes.
You shouldn't have stayed there the second day, the third day. So this lady needs to talk to somebody because she's hurting.
Yes.
She needs to talk to somebody that understands the issues around rape, responding and providing
So
solutions.
in essence, in general, you're saying that what you need to do is to talk with someone.
Yes.
Then the second?
And the second one is for you to first of all look at yourself from head to toe and said, I am not the cause. The person that abused me, the person that raped me has a mental problem. And once you have that mindset, you begin to love yourself and you begin to see yourself as not the problem, but rather whoever raped you is the problem. Like you mentioned earlier that she should report to a superior boss, but in the case where there is no superior boss and the person that did it is the overall boss, don't be discouraged. Speak to a professional in this area so that you can get psychosocial support, and they will take you to police station. You may be surprised, some evidence may still be left there. So in preventing, try not to be too close to anybody that has excessively that is making pass at you. You know when somebody is making a pass at you, don't assume that it will not go beyond just that pass. Because that is, the person is already building, the perpetrator is already imagining how to go into the act.
All right, doctor.
Now, good. You talk about preventive measures and curative measures. Those are the two key factors we need to look at. Now, I think we should be more interested in the preventive measures this time around because of the increasing cases of rape. Now, how do you identify a potential rapist?
Good.
How do you identify a potential rapist? Like I said earlier on, before now, that you see somebody admire you excessively. Oh, you look good. I love your shape. Figure 8. Stuff like that. If the person keeps doing it, watch it. Maybe your boss in the office telling you, oh, you look beautiful. There's nothing wrong, but don't extend it. Oh, looking at you seductively. As a lady, you should know. You understand? That is number one. And once you know that, you watch out for it. Even if it's your overall boss. And once it goes beyond its boundary, you can be polite in making him come back to his senses. Excuse me, I don't like this. Be bold. Women should come out. They should be bold. I know it's not going to be easy because of the society we are in.
The stigmatization.
The values, the norms that gives man that patriarchy system is the man and the boss.
Yes.
You understand? They want to intimidate you.
You can do and undo.
You could correct a man by being polite. You must not insult him. You are crazy, you are mad. No. You could say, excuse me, sir, I don't like that. When you tell him 1, 2, 3 times, he will come back to his senses. Oh, why will I be fooling myself?
Okay, this is a family friend. Lives in the house with me. A brother. A cousin.
Father.
An uncle. A father. How do we handle that?
The same thing applies. Yeah.
Okay.
The same thing applies. Mama, can I tell you something? Maybe, for example, you know, there are some, that is why I say you must look at the signs, the early warning signs, the signs, the signals. It is not proper. There's a certain age a girl will get to. The father shouldn't put her on his lap. The father shouldn't.
So mothers need to be
watch
very
out, be vigilant.
Mom, where's your daughter right now? Can you let us know? Where's your daughter? Maybe this is the time to quickly, put a cut through and find out where your daughter is. Because your daughter could just be sitting on that gate man's lap right now.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. Okay, uncle, take sweet. Uncle, take money, 50 naira. Uncle is doing a bit of show at the back. And mother is completely blind about it.
That is it.
Yeah. So we need to tell our mothers, especially mothers now. This is the time. And aunties as well. Guardians, wherever you are. What are the things, because she's really strong on the preventive aspect of it. Let us buttress on that as well. Yes.
On the preventive.
Yes.
Okay. A whole lot of things can be done to prevent this sexual assault and rape and all the violence that come with it. But first of all, the mothers will need to be up and doing, or any female around need to be up and doing. One, don't be friendly to your daughters. Be friendly to your sons. Don't be the lion in the house. Mommy, I want to tell you something. Hey, let me be.
I'm reading.
I'm busy.
Social media. Smile. When I'm done.
And so please, mothers, be friendly to your daughter. Don't hush them. Because you say, Mommy, Daddy, my room in the night. Daddy, my room. She's telling you something. Mommy, my brother, room in the night. She's telling you something.
What are the signs though? What are the signs? Because this is where mothers really need to be very cautious. You know, the child, a child has been very vibrant, that like colors. One thing that is very peculiar to teenagers is the fact that they like colors. Oh, pink, the boy with the blue, with his blue and all that. And all of a sudden he prefers to wear something dark, or she prefers to wear something dark. Shouldn't that be a signal right now? And somebody saying the red light right there, or suddenly someone who has been all over the place suddenly goes into his or her shell. Talk to us, doctor. I have to be calling in because of that.
Because now you just said something very key.
Yes.
The signs. For example, let's look at the case of an uncle. You understand? Normally the uncle plays with the child. Uncle, oh, you understand? Fine girl might be 5 years, 10 years, 3 years. And after
Pick
some
the
time,
jaw, and then from the jaw down to the
and
chest.
after some time, the uncle will say, baby, come. And you see this child being withdrawn. Looking at the uncle with suspicion. As a mother, you have to be vigilant at that point.
Beautiful.
You have to, whether a father, whether an uncle, whether the gatesman, whether whatever, male or female, it's both sides. You understand?
Yes.
Some women could violate boys, small boys. And you see the child being withdrawn. Or on the other hand, maybe the child is grown up and you see the child trying to answer the uncle in a very rude way. There is something. You have to watch it.
There is something, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
There are so many things. We can just go on and on today. But I want us to now zero in on those who have been affected. The victims. I want us to look at them. What do we do with them? Yes, it has happened. Oh, yes. Okay, we've been told on the need to report, to get counseling, to ensure that medically, because, you could also, some people get pregnant through this. All sorts of things happen. So, but the individual, what do you say to that person?
Wow, the individual.
Yes.
That's the healing process.
The healing process.
Yes, the healing process. There's a lot to be done in the healing process.
Yes.
The number one thing, when you're going through a healing process, you can't do it yourself. You need somebody, no matter how strong you are. Because at that point in time, you are going to hate yourself for ever making that kind of mistake.
When you are going through a healing process, you need to...
You need somebody.
You need to trust
somebody. Yeah.
And Zeno praises here today. As we draw the line on this, we're not going anywhere yet. We're coming back with a solution. We've got your back, baby. How do you come out of this? That's what we want to look at the next. Zeno, you have the floor.
Mama Helen TV show, Mama Helen otide, Mami Tiwade, Mama Helen otide, oríṣiríṣi ara.
I have tasted, I have seen the mighty works of your hands. You are strong and blessed one, Mr. Cowboy, that's who you are. I have tasted, I have seen all the mighty works of your hands. You are strong and rested one. Mr. Capable, that's who you are. Oh Kaka, oh Kaka, Chinwike, Chinwike, oh Kaka, oh Kaka, Chinwike, Chinwike. Come on, you might be going through hurt. The Lord is strong enough to heal you.
That's
to
it.
mend that broken heart. Hallelujah. I have seen, yes, all the mighty works of your hands. You are strong and breasted one. Mr. Capable, that's who you are. I have tasted, I have seen all the mighty works of your hands. You are strong. Hey, hallelujah. Mr. Capable, that's who you are. Oh, Kaka. Oh, hey, Sinwike. Oh, Kaka. Oh, Kaka. We say Sinwike. Oh Kaka, oh Kaka, oh Kaka, oh Chinwike, oh Kaka, you do. You are strong, you are mighty, Chinwike. You do the impossible, yes. Power belongs to you, Jesus. Yeah, you do the impossible. You are so powerful. Hey, oh, you heal our broken heart. You heal our scars and our wounds. Oh, power belongs to God. Power. We come on stronger. We come on stronger. You too. You are so powerful. Power. Oh, you do the impossible. You are so powerful. Power belongs to God. Oh Kaka, oh Kaka, Sinwike, Sinwike, oh Kaka, oh Kaka, you're strong, Lord, Sinwike.
Wow. This is awesome, people. Well, I don't know what to say concerning that. When you think about Chaka Chaka and Zeno Praise, they have been so wonderful people, blessing us mightily today. It is still Mama Helen and you, all the way from Warri, Nigeria. Well, we've been dealing on the effects of sexual assault and rape in our society today. And so many things have been discussed already over this. Right now, we are actually not looking into the victim, the person who is feeling very hot right now. She's saying mostly because ladies actually experience this even more than the men. You know that. When you talk about war rape, for example, being gang raped and what have you, the statutory rape, it goes on. She's there. He is there too. And they are saying, help me. How do you help? Yes.
Okay. First of all, you have to forgive yourself. Most times
you haven't done anything wrong.
You have to forgive yourself by mindset renewal.
Yes.
Because it's like the society is against you. You have been stigmatized, shame. You have been looked at like the
only
reject.
reason why you think that you need to forgive yourself is if you feel that you've done something to warrant it, isn't it? So that's what our counselor is saying. Forgive yourself, baby.
Because the society is making you feel as if you did something wrong. Meanwhile, you didn't do anything
Okay, there's
wrong.
a caller coming in. I'm so sorry. There's a caller. Please go ahead and talk to us.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, mommy.
Good afternoon. Such a beautiful voice. Thank you for the call. Please go ahead.
Okay, I wouldn't want to mention my name.
Go ahead, please.
Please, I gave birth to a son as a result of rape years ago. And now I'm planning to get married. But in the process of my husband to be showing me around to his relatives, I discovered that they moved to rape me years ago with his uncle. What should I do? Should I go with this marriage? Mama, please, I need your help.
Okay. Well, lady, you're not alone, and I'm so glad you made this call. I'm just going to listen to these counselors, and then I'll come in. So very quickly, what do you have to say?
Okay. Before you have found out that the child you have years ago is a son from the man it is the uncle.
Is the uncle?
The uncle.
Yes.
So
the man she's intending
you have
to marry.
to deal with it now before you go into the marriage. But you can't deal with it alone. So you need a counselor.
Okay. Can I ask you this question? If you're still on the line, can I ask you this? Is the man you are intending to marry, is he aware of what happened to you? Okay, she's gone off. Okay,
she's listening. So we'll talk about it while she's listening to us.
If she, yes, go ahead.
So she need. This is a bit complicated now. Okay, because now she had a child as a result of rape, and this son happens to be the son of the uncle of the person she's going to get married to.
Yes.
So first of all, is the person she's going to get married to aware that she has a son? 1, 2, is she aware that she was raped and that was how she had that same child? Then 3, this is really complicated. So she needs a counselor, discuss with the counselor and explain everything in detail, a professional. Then it will now warrant to call the person, the perpetrator that raped her, the uncle of her would-be husband, and then they will discuss the whole issue so that there will be an acceptance. There will be
well, the uncle is definitely going to say no.
They will do a DNA test on the child.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good one. Yes,
yeah, like
I love that.
Just said DNA test, because I was about to say that that the uncle haven't known he did that, because I don't want to assume, but I want to believe that even when she got pregnant, she might have
go ahead with this marriage.
She should go ahead, but the first thing is she has to open up. She has to open up, and she cannot do that alone.
Okay.
She has to meet
a counselor.
Young
lady, hearing from the ladies here, the choice is yours. The number one thing is that you need to open up with the young man involved. That's the man that you're intending to marry. So the Bible says Adam and Eve were naked and they were not alone. That's number one. Number 2, well, he should now be able to navigate what next to be done, because if your intention is to finally marry this young man, that's why I said the choice is yours, but we're putting all the cards on the table so that you can face it. The very first thing is, I can't live with this. Okay, but if you can, that should not rob you of that young man who God has sent into your life to make your life better. Okay? But it has to be handled. It has to be handled. And the young man will be able to give you the necessary direction of what next that needs to be done. Because now, that young boy now is a nephew to him. And now, how is he going to deal with that? That is extremely important. But you are more important to me, though. And that aspect has to do with the fact that, hey, nobody has the right to rob you off of your joy. Your joy must not be stolen, okay? Your life must not be stolen because of what happened in the past. The past is with the past. You should go with the past, deal with it, and move on. And I believe by the special grace of God, God will help you in your decision making. God bless your heart. Now, we have a social, we have quite a lot of viewers from the social media platform, and they are actually reaching out to us. We have a question right there on the screen, and it says, how can one overcome the heal effect of rape? Because this is still the generality of the healing process now that we're looking at, okay? How can one overcome the ill effects of rape? Who is going to jump in?
Anybody can jump
Okay.
in. Let me start this time around.
Okay.
How to overcome.
Yes.
The number one thing to overcome as an individual, because we are speaking to somebody out there.
Yes.
People are listening.
Yes.
And in case you are a victim,
Yes.
you must tell yourself the truth.
Yes.
The first thing is to accept that you have been raped.
Yes.
The second thing is to tell yourself that that is not the end of it.
That is not the
That is
end
not the
of
end of
life.
it. Yeah.
Good. That's what she's trying
And
to
it
say. Not
shouldn't
end of the rape.
Yeah, no.
but
End of life.
End of life.
And you tell yourself, I am worth living.
Good.
Life is beautiful.
Good.
My body has been touched, but my soul, my personality, my integrity has not been touched.
Exactly.
I must speak out.
Good.
That is the only way you can speak out. You know, people say
You can
it's
get
difficult.
healed.
Yeah, it's difficult to trust somebody, but you must trust somebody all the same.
Okay.
You must speak out. You have to speak
Doctor,
out.
someone
Yeah.
is on the phone right
Yeah,
now
you
wanting
have
to
to
talk
speak.
to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're hearing speak out. Come on,
Yeah.
baby, you're beautiful. Woo. I can literally see some of you right there. Can you just take a sit back and adjust yourself? You are so cute, baby. Go ahead. The caller. Talk to us. We want to hear from you. It's a pleasure.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Nice hearing you this morning.
Good morning to all the guests and everybody in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay. Mom, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
But your son, how to the morning was because it's kind of sensitive.
Can you go over that? Was it a question now? Oh,
Okay, ma'am.
all right.
Ma, no, I'm calling from Kano State.
Okay.
I'm a married woman.
Okay.
So, this is my question.
Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know what this is. I actually was having sex with my husband, and at the time they said she was 10 months.
Okay.
So I was feeling this is soft, and like she should just stop, but it kept on. Like I don't know, should I consider that as rape or something?
No. Okay. Okay. The question is that she's having normal knowledge with her husband, although that the vagina seems tight, and she feels pain. So should she consider that as rape?
No. It's not rape as long as she gave her consent. It's not, even though we know we have spousal rape. But this time she gave her consent. It's just that she had issue with her. So what she needs to do is to go to the hospital and complain to the gynecologist and obstetrician so that they know what to do to be able to help her. She'll go with her husband.
Did we get the question right?
She said she stopped the man.
She told the man to stop.
Yes.
Okay, well, you know, there are two issues here. There are two issues here then. If she told the man to stop and the man continues, is one aspect is rape.
Yes.
However, we also need to look at the underlying issue here. And the issue here is that while they are married, the issue isn't because of abuse of, maybe emotional abuse or there are other issues that is necessitating to her saying no. The reason why she's saying no is because she's tight.
Yeah.
So I think if we solve that problem, that should solve the entire problem. Please help her solve the problem.
The first thing she needs to do,
Yes.
because she's listening to us
Yes.
out there, is to go to a health center, meet a gynae, and explain to the gynae.
Good.
Now, that's what she needs to do.
Get
because
to
it's
see
something
your
that can be
gynae.
handled.
Forgive your husband,
Yes.
okay? The man is not intending to rape you. The man just feels that, God has given me this potato. Let me unwrap it. I tried it once and everything. So he's not feeling the pain you are feeling. So that's exactly what the issue is. And seek for help at the health center. And I'm sure that issue will be taken care of. And then you can both enjoy each other. It's important. It's part of it.
And she should go to the health center with the husband. So that they will tell so that the man will
well, that's another thing. So that the man will at least be patient enough to allow her heal, go through every other aspect. That's a good one. Yes. So all right. We are on the question of how can one overcome the healing effect of rape.
Okay.
So she started it, yes.
Okay.
You can continue.
A whole lot of things. One is, like I said, to overcome it, you have to first of all look at yourself and ask yourself a lot of questions. I was created for a purpose. Have I achieved my purpose? Why will the effect of rape rob me of what I am supposed to achieve and become in life? When you look at it from that angle, then you begin to shed the pains. You begin to share the agony. You begin to share the shame. You come out with head strong, and I don't care who damn you. I am what God says I am and will be.
I am what God says I am because I have a purpose. I'm going somewhere. Regardless of what might have happened to me in the past, it cannot stop me. I think that's what I've heard from her.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Okay, then you need psychosocial support.
Good.
Psychosocial support in the sense that
Therapy.
it has something to do with you inside. People are not seeing it.
Yes.
Inside, you are feeling dejected. You're having low self-esteem. Because people say, that's the lady that was raped the other day. You may not hear them, but you may hear them silently. Yes. And you are pained. You are withdrawn. Like for kids, before you know, their grades start dropping in school. Yes. Before you know, they start being rude. We're talking about rebellion to their father, to anybody around them. You see character that were not there before start. Yes. So what do you need to do at this time?
Open up.
Is psychosocial support.
Yes.
If you are a mother or a father, call the child and
begin to talk. Mom.
Begin to talk to her. Mom. Whatever has happened,
talk to a mother figure. Talk to a guardian.
Whatsoever that has happened to you is not bigger than you.
Yes.
God is the greatest.
Exactly.
God can give you your direction.
Yes.
Just be focused, be determined, and you get. By so doing is a healing process.
Yes.
And the healing process is
not
one of
two things.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be the third thing on your
speaking out?
Yes.
You need to speak out.
The
third
thing.
The third thing you
which
need to do
is somehow embedded in what she has said a while ago.
Yes.
The aspect of speaking out. I think the other aspect is that you need to discover Jesus. I have to tell you that, sweetheart, because nobody else can heal you but him. You have to be willing to allow Jesus come into your heart and heal you. She talked about forgiving yourself a while ago, but I will also say forgive him. Forgive them. It's in your best interest, baby. It's not about whoever did what. It is so that you can move on. Because as long as you have whosoever that person is, at the back of your mind, that alone would imprison you, and it will make it difficult for you to be able to walk away from the hurt. The hurt in itself, it's real. We're not trying to infinitesimal it. We're simply saying that, hey, God is a healer, is your healer. He can be your healing balm. He can nurture you out of that experience. Okay? Along with what they have all said, please please and please get yourself on the rope, on the sideline of recovery. Get yourself into that. And I can tell you, at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, something good will come out of it. You see, God has a way of bringing out arches from, bringing out beauty, I beg your pardon, from arches. That experience, obviously, it's very aching, but God is able. Heal yourself by allowing God heal you. You've heard from our guests, they have been fantastic, you know, and I have something here that also say if your friend rapes you and he apologizes afterwards saying it was a mistake, should he be forgiven? Yes, that's just what I have said a while ago. That a question just came in and I felt it tallies with what I was saying a while ago. You need to forgive, because if you don't forgive, it will be difficult for you to be able to move on. You know, it will be difficult. You'll just be wallowing in it. Every time the thought of it comes, you know, that will put you into another state. And then, of course, please, don't look down on yourself. Don't look down on yourself. Whatever happened to you is in your past now. You are now in your present. And the future is better. Just like what she said. You have a purpose. And the drive should mean towards you now seeing the best in you. That does not make you ugly. That does not make you, that does not make you think, that shouldn't make you think that you're not lovable. Okay? That shouldn't make you feel that. And then you need to deal with the anger issue, the depression. We're rounding up now. We need to deal with the anger issue, the depression, the aspect of trying to take vengeance and all that. That will further enrope and compound something that is already exacerbated. You know, so it's taking it to another level of exacerbation, and you don't want to do that. Please drop it. Let God step into your word. I don't know. I want to say a big thank you. It's been a journey today being with this pretty women who are here with me. Mrs. Rachel, Mrs. Rupi, it's such a pleasure having you on set today. Oh my God, you are firebrand.
Thank you.
And I am so proud as a mother.
Thank you.
I am. And then of course, Dr. Ortega Okino. Sorry, I'm not having my glasses on now, so you can see I'm struggling. All right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so very much for being with us on set today. We've really enjoyed you, and it will be wonderful for us to be able to have you back some of the time. Well, it has been on Mama Helen and you, and may I close by saying to you, yes, the fact is that you're raped. You were raped. The fact is that someone violated you. The fact is that that person has no right to have done whatever they did to you. The fact is you are hurting. But the truth also is that you have a future. The truth is that you are not what happened to you. The truth is that you have a beautiful life. The truth is that you're beautiful, you're intelligent, if you're a man, you're handsome. The truth is that you have a dream. Why don't you follow that truth and let it lead you to the place of restoration, a complete restoration, you know, and that can also be derived in Christ Jesus. So please, with all the things that we have shared today, let God minister to you. Let God minister to you. And for our mothers out there, please, let's keep an eye on our girls. Let's keep an eye on our boys too. Let us make sure that no one takes undue advantage on them. And if there are young ones watching, teenagers and what have you, we have been told, or they need to be very mindful of that man that keeps calling you to a corner, trying to give you sweets and trying to eat your bum and all that, and you not talking. Now, this is the time for you to confide with mom and tell mom or your aunt and let them know that, see, this person is trying to have, you know, play pranks with me. I would want to put it that way. And it could even be your teacher at school. It could be anyone, you know. Be mindful of that. Take care of yourself, because it is the value you have for yourself that others would also have for you. At the end of the day, isn't God good?
God is good.
God is good. The fact that you're alive means that you can do it again. So can we all do it all over again? Today being August is the new beginning. Shouldn't I say to someone that August is telling me to tell you today that you can do it all over again? You can make it good. You can make it sweet. You can make it wonderful. Get out of that situation. Stop allowing it weigh you down. You have a purpose, you have a time, you have a future. And for our viewers, I'm simply introducing my book, the book I wrote, the last book, well, the very one that I have presently. I've written many, and I'm still going to come in up with a lot. It's called Joyfully Together. I've been pushing it. It's been in South Africa. It's been in Atlanta. It's been in Ghana, Abuja, Port Harcourt, War, everywhere. Won't you want to get a copy as well? Do you want to know what it means to have a solid relationship? Consult Joyfully Together. It will be a blessing for me to place it in your hands. Get in touch with us. And then, of course, we have our helpline. This is from Word of Life. That I want the helplines on right now for our people, for those who might need counseling. This is not the regular call, the one that we use today, but the one that we always have on our program. It is important. Somebody might need to still make some calls. We want to give you the opportunity. Never stop getting in touch with us. If you still want to get in touch with me, you can still use the same number, and I'll be very glad to get back to you. To our guests, thank you for being here today. To all our viewers out there, you are simply the best. Thank you for watching. Can I have somebody? I want to sing for somebody out there today. I have a song. I want to make you feel good about you. Look at you now. Look at you now. Don't look at you or yourself with your past. Your past is gone. This is now you. It's a new you. You can make it a better world. Look at you now. When you're looking at you now, don't forget to look at Jesus. He's the order of our lives. He's a way maker, the one that has the power to bring out beauty out of ashes. Look at him too. It's on Mama Helen and you. Until we come your way again. God loves you. And we do too. God bless you. Have a nice one.
Mama Helen TV show, Mama Helen ó ti dé. Mami ti wá dé, Mama Helen ó tún ti dé. Oríṣiríṣi ara.